Hi everyone, thanks for watching. I'm Lauren, and in this video I'm going to share with you the recording of the live question and answer session that I did over on the Instagram platform from my shop, Guthrie & Ganny, on Monday the 9th of October. So I have got some really lovely new fabrics to show you this week, some lovely ex-designer ones, some new Liberty prints, and then of course I've got all your questions and queries and recommendation requests to answer as well. So there's going to be lots of inspiration and advice and tips. So if you are watching here on YouTube and you would like to contribute towards anything that we're chatting about, you'll see me read any live questions and comments that come in during the session as well. Then please feel free to leave a comment on this video and then I can include it in a future session. So I'll switch over to the live recording now and I'll see you very soon. Hi everyone, good evening. It's Monday the 9th of October and I'm here for another live Q&A here from the G&G shop floor. Lots of lovely new fabrics to show you and all of your questions ready to answer as well. So it's lovely to see you if you're joining live. Hello, hello. I hope you had a lovely weekend, and if you have been experiencing some warmer weather here in the UK over the weekend, you might be feeling a bit confused. I certainly was. Although I know that Scotland has had a lot of flooding, basically the opposite. Anyway, we're not here to talk about the weather. This is not a weather report. This is a lovely hour of sewing and dressmaking and fabric and all of that kind of stuff. So, hi, if you're here. I have got lots of really nice things to show you tonight. Some lovely new fabrics, which are new since last week. So they are in the just arrived section now, but new since I chatted to you last week. So I'll show you some of them. They're all lovely ex-designer ones. We've also had a few new Liberty classic prints in as well, but in new colourways as well. So I'll show you them too. Thank you everyone who's saying that they like my outfit. I do just have the top part on. Oops, kicking over fabric. I've got it on with some jeans. But yeah, I just posted the reel about this earlier on, and then it's also, there's a full blog post and a video and everything on my YouTube channel as well that like explains everything about what I did and lots of tips and everything. So yeah, we don't have a huge amount of this fabric left. We do still have some left. So yeah, I hope you've been inspired. So the top is just totally unlined. I'm just wearing it with like a little vest top underneath. Of course you can line it as well if you wanted to. So I'll talk a little bit about more of that in the video. So yeah, if you've got any questions, comments or anything like that as I'm chatting along, feel free to leave them. I'll try and keep up. But yeah, I'm going to get cracking on showing you some of the new things because there is quite a lot. And then yeah, I'll get answering your questions that you sent in beforehand. So yeah, I think all of the fabrics bar one are ex-designer fabrics. We're not allowed to see what the designer is, but yeah, you would recognise the name if we could. So they're all really lovely quality ones. And usually it means like the stocks are a little bit more limited when they're ex-designer because there tends to just be like a sort of certain amount available. The first one I'm going to show you is this one here, and these are all in the just arrived section now. So this one is the lapis in red checked cotton flannel fabrics, 100% cotton, and is an amazing, lovely, cozy brushed back cotton flannel, and it feels brushed on both sides because sometimes flannels can only be brushed on one side, but this is brushed on both sides. This would make really, really nice pyjamas. So, and I feel like because it's quite a bright red, it's maybe like a little bit Christmassy. So if you were thinking about maybe making some Christmas PJs, then I think this is a really good shout. It's so lovely. It's like a really nice thickness as well. So it would be lovely, but you could definitely just make like a nice cozy shirt with it, or a top as well, or even a dress. But yeah, it's a really lovely one. And then this next one that I'm going to show you, I think this is the only one that's not ex-designer, but it's still really nice. It's another checked one. The check's slightly smaller though. So this one is the emerald and grey check cotton flannel fabric. So again, it's 100% cotton. It is a little bit brushed, but I would probably say it's not quite as brushed as that other one. But it does still feel really lovely and soft. And again, I think it would make really gorgeous PJs. So maybe if you wanted to make like simple PJ bottoms, but then like a little t-shirt top or something to go with it, I think that would make a nice little set. And then the other ones that we've got are definitely got more smarter vibes. So if you were maybe inspired by our Mitchell trouser kit that we released in September, then there's some really nice fabrics that are really good for like smarter trousers or smarter dresses. So the first ones I've got to show you are their stretch cotton. So they would be good for, you know, like sort of like chino style trousers. I'm going to say the Closet Core Jasika because that's just a classic for that sort of style. So this one is the Grid Check Cotton Twill fabric. So it's navy in the background, and then it's got a really subtle little check in it. The light's probably going to go weird now that I'm showing you this. But I think the check is sort of small enough and subtle enough that I think it would be quite easy to match that one. And then the next one is really lovely. I think this is gorgeous. So it's got like a herringbone sort of weave in it, and it feels brushed, so it's really lovely and soft. It feels gorgeous, and it's a cotton elastane as well, so it's got a little bit of stretch to it. It's not a huge amount of stretch. Let me see if I can hold it up. I would say it's like bordering more on a give than a stretch, but yeah, it feels really lovely, and I think it's a really nice weight for a pair of trousers as well. This also comes in another colour, which is like a dark grey. This one's the navy. So it's 98 cotton and it's 2% elastane. Then the next one has got a bit more of an obvious check to it, like a bigger check. And again, it's cotton spandex as well. This is linear check cotton twill. And this would, yeah, I think this would make it, I'm going to try and angle it somehow that it doesn't make my face do that weird colour. Maybe if I get out of the frame then you can see it. So it's navy and black in the background, and then a lovely sort of teal check and a red as well. And I think that would be really nice for like a little smart skirt or a smart pair of trousers. You can make a little jacket with it as well. A little blazer would be really nice too. And then the next ones are all more like sort of suiting weight, so perfect for trousers. And they are, I'm pretty sure they are all wool as well. Let me check. That one's wool. I just checked that, yeah, they are all wool. But they're like that really sort of lightweight wool that kind of is, you know, is quite floppy. It's not got a lot of structure. It's very smooth as well, so it's not itchy or anything like that. That one's just a plain classic navy. So, you know, if you just want like a classic smart pair of navy trousers, then that is a good shout. This one here is really interesting. I'm going to try and get my face out of the camera again because it comes up really weird in the light. This one's got a sort of diamond like check, sort of jacquard print, not print, sorry, get my words out. It's woven into it, that design. It's really nice. It catches the light really, really nicely. So yeah, and that one is also 100% wool. Then I'm gonna just hold, there's quite a few. I might just actually try and hold them up all together. So again, these are all 100% wool. They're all just different sort of checks. So that's got a lovely little pink bit in it. Then these are kind of smaller scale checks here. And then that's a nice grey one at the top as well. So definitely if you're looking to make like smart trousers, smart skirts, and so many lovely choices, they are excellent quality. Also because they're wool as well, they'll be nice and warm. And then the last one I've got to show you is a gorgeous texture. It's probably not going to capture it very well in the video, but I'll show you anyway. It's black textured jacquard wool fabric. So it's actually 50 wool, 47 cotton and 3% cashmere. It's got a really lovely soft touch to it, and it's got nice texture. So even though it's a plain colour, it does have a really nice texture to it. And if I sort of hold up a little bit, hopefully you can see it's quite thin and floppy. But I think you would probably need to line it, but I think a nice little skirt or a sort of smart kind of pinafore shift dress would be nice in that as well. You could make trousers in it too, so lots of nice choices there. And then finally, I wanted to show you the new Liberty ones that we've had as well. Again, I'm going to try and slide them over so I can sort of show you them all together. That's them all there. So you can see the Betsy print, Capel, and then Betsy's at the top and bottom, and then is it, what's that other one? Oh, Poppy and Daisy is the other one. So they're just in like new colourways basically. This is very autumnal colours for Betsy, which is really nice. Quite often it's like lighter pastel colours in that Betsy print, but that's a much deeper tone, so that's really nice. This one's cool because it's got the bright neon pink in it. It's really fun. So those pink flowers there, they're like really vibrant. And then that's a more muted, sort of autumnal one again. So again, that one is the poppy and daisy print. That one. And then a nice bright red capel, kind of Christmas vibes in this one with the bright red colour. And then another really fun colourway of Betsy. Again, I've not really seen Betsy in these kind of sort of more like vibrant, brighter colours before, so something a little bit different if you are a Betsy fan. So yeah, I'm not actually 100% sure if they're online yet or not, but they do have tags. So that is a good sign that they will be online soon. So yeah, if they're not, it'll probably be tomorrow or Wednesday at the latest. They would be online. And then also, again, these will be going online this week too. We've got a restock of the paper cut printed patterns. So the paper cut started to offer like printed versions of their patterns again. So we've got a really lovely batch of them that have come in. So they will be online this week as well. So you can watch out for them too. Maybe show you some more of them next week. Okay, so before I get on to the questions that were sent in beforehand, there was just a couple of like comments and inputs and things from people who watch on YouTube. Sorry, I'm getting my words really mixed up right now. So yeah, last week somebody was asking about tips for sewing with corduroy. So seemingly Seamwork YouTube have just released a corduroy special. So I'm sure that's got lots of good tips in it. So yeah, if you're still on the hunt for various corduroy tips, then you could check out the Seamwork YouTube. And then we were also talking about, there was a question last week that was about PDF patterns and how to get more than one size out of a PDF pattern without having to get it printed several times. So we were talking about tracing options and that sort of thing, or kind of cutting it out to a couple of sizes bigger and then kind of folding it back. So there's a few options there, but somebody said that I just send PDFs to the printer, and if I think that I might need another size, I just ask for 2 copies just in case. And I just never trace, no matter the pattern. So that was someone's feeling on that one. And then also, this was actually from a couple of weeks ago, so we were talking about the grain line Thayer jacket and adding Thinsulate lining to it, and somebody said that they used Thinsulate on their Thayer. I made a 12 first in my indicated size and decided there was enough room and went ahead. I'm pleased with the sizing around my body, but would have liked more length in the sleeves and the bodice of the jacket. And I'm 5'4" for reference, so that was someone else's experience of adding the Thinsulate. That's like the really cozy, warm, like wadding kind of thing that you can put in coats and jackets to make them super duper warm. Okay, somebody's asking how much is the Liberty fabric. Liberty, the newer prints are £27.50 a metre for the Liberty, and we sell it in 10 centimetre denominations, so you can buy as much or as little as you want, even if it's 10 centimetres. I am in the market for new dressmaking scissors. Any recommendations? I use the Prim micro serration ones that are 21 centimetres long. I've had them for years and I find that they're still as good as new. And I use them to cut everything, and I personally really like them. They're like my scissors that I use. So yeah, they do come in other blade lengths as well, but I don't know, maybe you just kind of get used to like a certain size as well. I use the 21 centimetre ones and they seem to suit me fine. Okay, so the next, okay, so we're on to the questions that were sent in beforehand now. So the first one was, I struggle with warping when sewing a grown on / folded over button placket. In this case, the Merchant & Mills Omilie dress. No matter how much I pin the layers of fabric, it always warps as I sew. Do I need to change my sewing machine settings, and how can I stop this from happening? I suspect you shouldn't really need to change your sewing machine settings for sewing that, because I think your sewing machine really should be able to like cope with that. I'm wondering whether, are you pressing it enough before you sew? If that's maybe the case, I tend to not have this issue. So I was trying to sort of think of things that I do when I'm making, so it's like when you've got a button placket on a shirt, but it's not an extra bit of fabric, it's where you just sort of fold it back in itself. Obviously you need to make sure that you've got your interfacing in there, making sure that it's definitely like cut really straight on the grain as well will help too with any warping. But yeah, I would say like definitely kind of pressing it and making sure it's really sort of crisp and flat, and then pinning it as well should help. If it's still sort of warping, then potentially I was thinking maybe is your machine not feeding through the fabric evenly. It almost sounds like maybe it's feeding, you know, it's feeding it through faster at the top, at the bottom as it is at the top or something, in which case maybe you need a walking foot. But I feel like for most fabrics that should be fine, unless it was like a particularly thick fabric. So yeah, that was a few things that sort of came to mind there. Somebody's saying the Merchant and Mill scissors are exceptional. Interesting. Do Liberty do a thicker material other than tana lawn? I thought I saw advertised a thicker twill called County or something. Yeah, they do alternative bases sometimes. They're usually in like a much more limited like prints. They don't have as much available. So they do have you can get poplin, which is just like a thicker, heavier cotton. And then yeah, we have had a twill weave before, which I think was that maybe actually wool and cotton. I'm trying to remember what that was called again. But yeah, I've not seen that for a while. Sometimes they just sort of try different bases, but typically the you know, the tana lawn is the base that they have like their biggest range of prints on. Tesco do great dressmaking scissors, better than my expensive pair. Oh, interesting. Will the fabrics from the new kits be available for purchase? I hesitated too long for one kit and the coat cost too much for the EU shipping option. Yeah, they will be. We are going to have some fabric left over, but it always just takes a while to sort of finish building all the kits and get them shipped out and everything. But if you send us an email, then we can add you to the wait list for that. Wool chalice. I wonder if that's what that Liberty one was. Yeah, maybe. Okay, the next one was, would you pre-wash the bubble cord? So that is this fabric here, which has lovely sort of fur back on it. Comes in quite a few different colours. It is polyester, this one. So it's not going to shrink or anything when you wash it. If you do wash it, you've got an overlock. I would say ideally you want to like overlock the edges. But I probably would. You could if you wanted to, but if you didn't, it would be fine, because it's not going to shrink anyway. Some people just sort of like pre-washing stuff because then it just kind of smells nice when you're working with it. So I would say if you want to, it's not essential on the bubble cord because it's polyester. Okay, the next question was, which I'm hoping maybe some of you watching can help with, was have you made anything by Brigitta Helmersson? And if so, how good are the instructions? So these look to be zero waste patterns, I think they're Swedish zero waste patterns. I haven't made anything by them, but if you're watching and you have any comments on the instructions, whether they're good or otherwise, then let me know. I'm making the Ilford and the fur lined bubble cord. What to do about interfacing? Sorry if that's a silly question. I'm making it as I watch. I think probably that's a good question. I mean, it is quite stable, so you could probably get away without using it, to be honest. I think 'cause it's like 2 layers of fabric bonded together as well, it just has like quite a lot of sort of stability. Okay, another point on the scissors. My scissors are left-handed Kai shears. I've had them since the 90s. Ooh, that's a good testimony, isn't it? If they're still going from the 90s. Okay, the next question was, do all natural fibres crease? My makes seem to look scruffy when I sit down or put a coat on. I mean, I think to some extent, probably yeah. I would say the majority of my clothes are made from natural fibres, or mostly natural fibres. I mean, I say that as I'm standing here in like a polyester mesh embroidered top, but you know, that's an exception, because it's really nice fabric. I would say, you know, thinking about it, yeah, they probably do to like some extent, but I can't personally say that I've ever felt that my clothes feel scruffy because of that. So I'm not sure. I guess, you know, if you definitely don't want things to like crease at all, you gotta just use synthetics because they don't crease. But yeah. Sorry, I'm not sure what else to say about that. Okay, the next one was, how do you wash the creamy natural teddy shearling fabric? I would probably either overlock the cut edges or like zigzag them so not too much fluff comes away, and you could just wash it, probably just wash it on a 30 normal cycle in the washing machine, and then let it air dry. Okay, somebody's saying I didn't interface my Ilford in the fur-backed variated cord and it worked fine. Well, that's good. I thought that would be the case. I haven't used any of the zero waste patterns, but I think I've seen them on TikTok and YouTube, so searching for some sew-alongs on social media. I've made a jacket and instructions are okay, but she has links to pictures. Okay, good to know. Fabric Godmother have made some of those patterns and they have a few posts about them which are interesting. I want to try one. Yeah, it's definitely getting more popularity, isn't it? The zero waste patterns. I feel like I hear about them quite a lot now. Okay, the next one was, I'm sewing a dress with princess seams in a viscose, but the seam keeps puckering. I've tried ironing, but I can't get rid of it. Do you have any hints and tips for sewing princess seams? So what I would suggest you do that's got quite a lot of detail is if you have a look at the Megan Nielsen blog, and they have a blog on sewing princess seams that's in relation to the carry dress, which is probably not the dress you're making, but I think the principles are still going to be the same. And they've got lots of tips in there, so you can like sew before you put the two together. You can sew in like a stitching guide, like a line of stitching at the seam allowance, so that you've kind of got that as like a guide for where you're attaching it together, because it's like one sort of shaped curve going into another when you do a princess seam, isn't it? And then you can like clip into it a little bit. So I think sounds like maybe there's more kind of preparation stages that you can do before you actually sew it that should help to minimize the puckers rather than trying to like get rid of them afterwards. But yeah, if you check that out, so it's the Megan Nielsen carry dress blog / sew along post about sewing princess seams. I've got lots of really good pictures and everything, so hopefully that helps you. The next question was, how can I reduce the sleeve volume in the Chalk and Notch Wren blouse? I'm going to be honest, I don't actually know, but what I've heard quite a lot of other people do before is that they use a pattern that is from a sleeve that's from another pattern that's more of like the style that they want, and then you can check if it's going to fit. Like you can measure the armhole on the bodice and measure the sleeve curve on the other sleeve you want to use, and then see if they're the same length, going to fit, and then you could try that. I've actually never done that before myself, but I have definitely heard people who've tried that and they've said that it worked. Not in this particular pattern, but just like generally the idea of like using a sleeve from something else that's this kind of sleeve you want. And I guess that sort of saves any kind of complicated like redrafting of sleeves, which you would, you probably have to like be a bit more experimental, and then you'd have to like make a toile of it to check and everything. So sorry I don't have any like major wisdom in that, but maybe an idea to try if you've got another pattern with a sleeve you like. Okay, the next one was, I'm planning to make matching Christmas jumpers using the Jarrah pattern. Will it work as a men's pattern as well? If not, does anyone have any suggestions, please? Couldn't find anything quite like that in the Foldline's men's section. Yeah, I mean, I think if you're wanting something that's got more of a drop sleeve like what the Jarrah has, I'm not sure if I've seen that in like a specifically designed men's sewing pattern. I know that the I Am Patterns Apollon jumper top is a popular man's one, but as more of a set-in sleeve. If you're like specifically not wanting that and you're wanting a drop sleeve, I don't know of any, as I said, I don't know of any men's patterns that are like that unless anyone else does. But yeah, I'm not sure how it would work on I suppose it would depend on like the build of the man as to whether the Jarrah pattern would work. I'm wondering whether the neckline would maybe be a bit too wide. It might sort of, I'm not sure if it would, I'm not sure. Anybody got any suggestions on that, then again, please let me know. Okay, have a look at Kath Craft's video on reducing the volume on the sagebrush top. It's super easy. Okay, thank you for that suggestion. So that's the Kath Craft's video on reducing volume on the sagebrush top, and I guess the same principles could be like applied to other ones as well. Okay, when sewing side seams with the teddy fabric, the top layer seems to stretch so ends up longer. Any tips? Use Mariflex straight stitch. If you do have a walking foot, you could try using that. Otherwise, plenty of pins, and then maybe sort of try and kind of hold the fabric a bit more taut at the back of the machine. Like, you kind of need to get the balance right, because you don't want to be pulling the fabric through so quick that it makes your stitch length longer, but maybe like just generally holding like a bit more tension in the fabric as you sew, that might help as well. But yeah, if you do have a walking foot, I think that'll help too. I think Helen's Closet has a unisex men's jumper, not sure on the style though. Yeah, I agree, I think they do as well, but I can't picture the style right now either. Okay, the next question was, would the Fibre Mood Kaya dress work in a tana lawn? If not, a similar pattern that would work. So that looks, it's like a V-neck, sleeveless, quite a loose dress. It looks like they've styled it over other things, like the people in the models seem to be wearing like other tops and things underneath the dress. I would say it probably could work in a tana lawn. Tana lawn's obviously quite lightweight, so it might feel kind of quite summery. I don't know, I don't want to put you off, but I feel like maybe might it feel like a little bit like a nightie if it's like a really light, because if cotton lawn is so lightweight. But I guess in theory it would work, yeah. Okay, the next one was pattern recommendations for the kokka big spot blue fabric, please. So that is this one here. Oh, my face is going to do that weird light thing again. So it's got these big spots that are woven into it. Can you see how it's kind of translucent a little bit as well? Now, I was actually thinking about making a Helen's Closet Ashton top, which is the top I'm wearing just now. But again, kind of having it almost like a layering piece, as in I would wear like a little vest top underneath. Because I think maybe making something where you're not cutting into the spots too much is going to be good. Otherwise, you might end up feeling like you want to match the spots, which I don't know, might be kind of annoying. So the Sew Liberated Strata top is another sort of easy one, or the assembly line cuff top if you just omitted the centre front, centre back seam. That could be another nice, like really simple one as well, where, you know, that, yeah, you've just like got all these spots and the spots aren't getting sort of cut up too much. So that was my ideas there. I think it may be by Kath Craft, yeah. Okay, yeah, they are, oh, wait a minute, that's jumped. Yeah, they are still pretty sharp. What's the best sharpener I can get to sharpen them? We do sell a Fisker scissor sharpener, but what you might also want to look into as well is if there's like an old style ironmongers near where you live. There's one quite near the shop. Sometimes they sharpen scissors as well, so that might be a nice option too. Although, just to note, a side note on the micro serration ones, you can't really sharpen them because the blades have got like little teeth on them. But yeah, as long as you just really strictly only use them for fabric, they're going to stay really sharp anyway, so you shouldn't need to sharpen them for like a long time. Would you recommend a walking foot with a new kit jumper material? I didn't, but it's not going to do any harm. You definitely could. I didn't. Usually I like try and see if I can not use a walking foot, because I know everybody's not got one. So then I kind of want to know, like, is it possible to do it without one? And I think it is possible, but it probably would help if you did use one. Hi, can you see the PM? I don't know what that means, sorry. Is it true that cutting foil with scissors can sharpen scissors? Interesting. I mean, I guess in theory I can see how that might work. Has anybody ever tried it? I've never done that before. But it sounds like it would be quite satisfying just to do it anyway. Okay, the next question was recommendations for Our Lady of Leisure Pisco jacket, which looks a bit, it's like a sort of kind of fitted over the shoulders, I guess, and the sleeves. Then it's got a belt, and then it's quite waterfally. It's then like quite gathered and sort of like a kind of like a stepped hem. It's not like a straight hem. So my suggestion for that one would be, is for stretch fabric, would be this one here, because it's a little bit more weighty, but because it is made of modal, it's very floppy, and I think it would sit into those folds really, really nicely, like that style of it at the bottom. So this is, the specific colour of this one is the petrol loop back jersey fabric. It's £18 a metre, but it does come in lots of other nice colours as well. And I think that would be a really nice weight for it. So yeah. Okay, somebody's saying that I recently tried this with a rotary blade, didn't notice an improvement. Yeah. Okay, so might be old wives' tale, that one, potentially. Okay, the next one was fabrics for the Fibre Mood Agatha dress for a black tie New Year's evening dinner. That sounds very exciting. I hope you have a lovely time. So this, it looks like a really nice pattern. So it's kind of got those butterfly sleeves, you know, that are quite full and then they kind of look quite wavy. So you definitely want a fabric that's got lots of drape in it. It's got a V-neck and then kind of like a panel underneath with like gathered bits at the bust and then like quite a long sort of flowing dress. So I definitely think something in viscose would be nice. We have had this new one, which I think is quite cool. It's black in the background and then it's got these really cool red stars on it. So I don't know, it's almost like a little bit retro in a way. But it's a viscose crepe and I think it would sort of hang and swish and drape, really cool in that style. And then there's also a couple of fabric godmother prints as well that I think would be nice too. This one, which we don't have a huge amount left of, but it is one that we can get in again. It's got kind of like shooting stars and stuff. I thought that looks maybe like a little bit more dressy and fancy. That one is the Celeste black viscose crepe. And then one that's got maybe like a little bit more colour in it. I've never been to a black tie event, so I actually don't totally know what the dress codes are at these things, but I don't know, I think that's quite nice too. And I love this is a really soft viscose crepe, it's gorgeous. And I think that would be nice, maybe if you want something that's got a little bit more colour in it, but I wasn't really sure how strict the black theme would be in black tie, if you did actually have to like go down the black route. Okay, somebody's saying I made the Agatha, it's for jersey, but there is an adaptation you can do to add a zip to the back. Excellent. Do you still have some of the fabric you had in the Avery leggings kits? As far as I know, we do. It was the micro modal jersey. If you can't find it, send us an email or send me a direct message and I'll fish it out. But I think we do have some, and if we don't, then I can probably get a little bit more. Is that look back suitable for the Sirocco jumpsuit? Yeah, I think it would be. Yep. Cutting into sandpaper sharpens your scissors. I don't know if I could do that. Is that a bit like when you get freaked out by cotton wool? I don't know. That would give me the heebie-jeebies, cutting paper with sandpaper. I mean, if it works to sharpen your scissors, maybe it's just one of these things you got to do. I've sharpened scissors with foil, but you do have to fold it in many layers to cut through. Very satisfying. Yeah, I thought it might be satisfying. For some reason I feel like I could cut foil, but the sandpaper, I don't know, it's too gritty. Okay, next, someone else is going to a black tie event as well. You guys, you're very fancy. Black tie event in 4 weeks. Would the Deer and Doe Magnolia be okay in velvet? Any other patterns? I feel like it would depend on what kind of velvet it was, because you can get various different types of velvet and some of them are like more structured than others. I feel like for the Magnolia, you kind of want something that's quite floppy and got drape in it. So it would depend what type of velvet it is you've got. We've not got any yet. We'll probably be getting some in soon actually. It's like a sort of stretch, almost like a kind of stretch velour type velvet, which is very, very floppy, but it is stretchy. So I don't know if you could use the like stretchy velvet to make the Magnolia, because it is designed for woven fabric. But yeah, I think, sorry, I'm not probably not really answering the question here. I think really it depends on the type of velvet it is my answer as to whether it would be suitable for the Magnolia. I saw the Avery leggings fabric on your website the other day. I think the blue is called Midnight something. Thank you. I'm glad somebody knows what's going on here. The By Hand London Anna dress is great for black tie. Easy, sew and very elegant. Recommended. Yeah, it's really nice. It's got quite a high sort of boat neckline and like little grown-on sleeves. I made the Anna years ago, I think, when it first came out. And then it's like more kind of fitted under the bust with little tucks. But yeah, it is very elegant. That is true. Okay, the next one was, I'm thinking of making the Fibre Mood Adria coat. I've never used Fibre Mood patterns. How do I know which sizes to select for printing? So when I've used Fibre Mood patterns before, I've always just bought the PDF and it comes with all of the sizes on it. So I just printed them all out, and then they usually send you a file that's got a version with the seam allowances included already, and a seam allowance, and a version without. So then, just because I prefer like working with patterns that have got seam allowance included already, then I just print that version of it. And then could you suggest fabrics, not just the quilted one? So yeah, the Adria coat is like a sort of double-breasted, quite a short jacket with big lapels, and it's the sample sewn up in one of those quilted fabrics, you know, something a bit like this. This is one of the Mind the Maker Thelma fabrics, you know, so it sort of comes pre-quilted. These are due on Wednesday, by the way, the new batch of these. But you could also, it says you also could use boiled wool for that jacket. Our order of boiled wool, now that the kits have like gone on sale, our order of boiled wool is imminent. We've got loads of really nice colours coming in, so that is coming very soon. But then it says you can also use for that pattern, you can use like a boucle fabric. We've got this really lovely one here, which is like grey tones. It's a lovely texture to it. It's also reversible too. This one is the monochrome blended boucle fabric, and it's a wool, nylon, alpaca wool and mohair blend, and it's £24.40 a metre. And then it also says that you can use, why can't I think of the name of this fabric here? What is it? Jacquard. It says you can use that brocade, maroon and blue, Sketchy Blooms brocade fabric. It's obviously like a bit of a fancier version here, but that's what it says in the recommendations. Obviously quite different to the puffer style, but you know. So a few different suggestions there, but yeah, the boiled wool, as I said, boiled wool that's coming in soon would also be good for that one. Okay, the next one was, I'd like to make the Closet Core Jasika Jacket. Can you suggest fabric from your shop that would give a casual look? I feel like the Closet Core Jasika is quite smart. So I was struggling to kind of picture it looking casual. So I ended up picking a couple of wools that are just brighter in colour, because I thought maybe that was like a bit more fun than like a more sort of smarter grey or black or sort of plain one, which maybe would be smarter. This lovely pink one here, which is the cerise herringbone wool fabric, which is £29.30. It's 100% wool. It's gorgeous. Love the colour of this one. And then the other one that I thought was just a nice sort of brighter colour is the two-tone peacock wool fabric, which again is 100% wool, and it's £24.50 a metre. And it's got, the way it's woven, yeah, it is like two tones. It's not a flat colour, so it's really nice, and it is just a bit sort of brighter. So I thought they would be fun maybe for a more colourful, casual type blazer. And then we have got ideas for the Nina Lee Southbank dress and plain sweatshirt. So this is just kind of like a sweatshirt sort of jumper dress. So I've got a few suggestions here. I didn't mean to bring out all navy, but the ones I have are navy, but these do come in other colourways as well. So this one here is the navy snuggly fleece back organic cotton sweatshirting, and this is one of our thicker sweatshirtings. It's really, really cosy, and I think that would make a lovely snuggly dress. So yeah, that does come in other colourways too. And then the other one, which would sort of be like a little bit more slouchy because this fabric moves around a bit more, is the blended viscose one. Again, it comes in lots of different colours. So this is the navy viscose blended knit fabric. It's a viscose and polyester mix, and yet comes in some plains and some sort of marbled colours too, but it's a lovely cosy one, and it is a lot more floppy. But it's a nice weight, it's a nice thickness. I think it would feel nice and cosy. It's a jumper dress, that would be nice too. And then finally we have got any fleece type fabric that would sew into your bag or a tote, etc. I was trying to have a think about this because probably really, I feel like fleecy type fabric maybe generally wouldn't be stable enough for a bag. Like you'd really have to do something to like stabilize it. But I was wondering whether maybe this would be good though. I mean, it's quite thick, but I guess it's, you know, it's kind of fleecy, furry in the back. But as we were saying earlier, for those that were asking about putting interfacing in it when making the Ilford, it is very stable. It is very strong. You know, you can see like when I put tension on it, it just doesn't budge, it doesn't move. So I guess in that sense, it would be quite durable for a bag. Yeah, if that's the sort of thing we're picturing. Okay, what pattern brands would you recommend for easy read and accessible instructions? Italian the Buttons ones are really good, as are Closet Core, Helen's Closet, also very good and in depth. Friday Pattern Company, Meg Nielsen, they're all good as well. Do you have, or are you going to get some viscose twills in? Yeah, we do have some viscose twills. We've not got loads of them because they're not quite as common, but yeah, we do have some. I think if you just search viscose twills on the website, they should hopefully come up. There's a really nice couple of sort of like cheetah print ones that are in quite nice colours. So yeah, so that was all the questions that were sent in beforehand tonight. Wasn't very many questions this week. I think Instagram's doing that thing, you know, where it doesn't really show many people the question box when I put it up on a Saturday. So I didn't have as many questions there, but that's okay. If anybody does have any more questions right now, please feel free to ask. Oh, the Adria furry cord, okay. Yeah, I think it would be. Yeah, I think so. Do you have any of the loop back from the Rowan bodysuit kits? Do you have the sum of the buttons used to close the bodysuit? I don't think we've got any of those buttons left to close the bodysuit, but we do have the same fabric that was in that, because it's like a standard line that we carry. That was the same as that petrol one that I showed earlier, but it does come in lots of other colourways too. Yeah, it's just called loop back jersey fabric, and then like the colour at the start, it's the one that's 95% modal, 5% elastane. Size me patterns are good too and include video tutorials. Good to know. So yeah, I hope you have found all of those fabrics interesting and inspiring, and yeah, you've enjoyed seeing all of that. And then if you missed it at the beginning, I do have the video and the blog post up now about the top that I'm wearing, and also a skirt that I made as well, in this type of fabric. So yeah, there's some information there. Sorry I'm late, did you get a chance to answer my Wren blouse question? I did, yeah, sorry. The recap was that you could, what was it, the Cath Craft blog on the sagebrush top was suggested as being a good one to look at. It's obviously a different pattern, but principle might be the same. Or the other suggestion was to try a sleeve that you like from another pattern, see if that fits. So yeah, I want to interline a loose weave skirt. Can I use a cotton, and do you attach within the seam and treat it as one piece? Yeah, you can do. You can definitely do that. My Janome sewing machine struggles with changes of thickness, e.g. going from 2 to 3 layers. It just sews in the spot. Any ideas how to keep it sewing? I think you need to like preempt this and just like be a bit more assertive and kind of like shove it through the machine a little bit more so it doesn't get stuck, because as soon as it starts stitching on the spot, the thread's going to build up underneath and then it just kind of gets stuck even more. So if your machine does have like a little black button at the side of the foot, then you can sort of press the front of the foot down and click that black button in, and that helps to level the foot. Or you can get like a little scrap of fabric, and as you get to those layers, like, yeah, leave the needle in the fabric, lift the foot up and put another layer of fabric underneath to sort of level it out or even it out, so that it then keeps the foot level, because it's getting stuck because it's, you know, you're sewing, this is the sewing machine foot, it's kind of going along, and then all of a sudden it's like it's got to go up a hill, and it might kind of struggle to do that, so you have to kind of help it to do that. Can you recommend an, oh, I paused it there, hopefully I'm back again. Can you recommend an autumn pinafore pattern and fabric? We've got some really nice wool fabrics that would be nice for a pinafore. I can't think of a pattern off the top of my head. The Nina Lee Camden is quite a nice one. But yeah, we've got like that two-tone peacock one that I showed earlier is quite nice. We've got other wools that are like similar to this as well that I think would be nice too. A hump jumper, yeah. I have some of the Fabric Godmother Ziggy fabric and cream to make a wren blouse. What colour buttons would you recommend? I can't decide what works best. For mine, I used some of the, because I made the Fibre Mood Ermine in that fabric, and I used some of the Atelier Brunette buttons. I think it was maybe the midnight ones. It was like the ones that were more like kind of black. I used that, and I think it looks nice. Lengthening the stitch helps with thicker fabrics. True, good tip, thank you. Using your autumnal confetti viscose to make a blouse. The fabric is just lovely. That sounds really nice. Found style art was very lacking in instructions. That is true. Made a maxi jacket, which I found quite a challenge, as I made in gold lame. Is that lace maybe? Never use that stuff again. Covered in gold thread, frays like hell. Oh dear. I made a blouse out of the cream Ziggy fabric and used some really cute star-shaped green pigeon wishes button. That sounds really nice. Telling the button is nice and easy pinafore. Yeah, that's got more like sort of dungaree straps. Thank you for those ideas, no probs. Pippi Pinafore by Jennifer Lauren, handmade is lovely. Ah yeah, I always forget about that one. That is really nice. The assembly line have a great pinafore pattern. Any tips to stop the fraying if I use it again? Overlocker? I don't know, or could you maybe, I wonder if you could use, it would be quite painstaking to go around and do that. Could you maybe like put fray check on all the edges before you start doing it? Lovely top. What pattern is it, please? Thank you. It's the Helen's Closet Ashton top. Okie doke. Well, thank you very much, everyone. Hopefully this week, if all of the Mind the Maker Thelma fabrics arrive when they're planned to arrive on Wednesday, then I can get the video and blog post finished about the tamarack jacket that I made last year in that fabric. I've done a little sort of blog post all about it because I still get quite a lot of questions about that jacket. So yeah, hopefully that will be going up this week as well. I actually also forgot to tell you about the Sewing Society kits that were released last year. Do you know what? If it's not written down in the bit of paper, it just doesn't happen. I'd like very naively think that I can remember things, and then I just don't. Anyone else do that? We do. So the Helen's Closet Elliot jumper sold out very quickly when we released it on Wednesday, but we do have some of that fabric that will be available, so you can email us to go on the wait list for that. But I wanted to show you the jacket coats that we have left. I've like left them over the other side of the table, so I'm just going to go and quickly get them. So yeah, we've got just a few of this seafoam colourway left. It's the Hadrian handmade Narva coat in a boiled wool. This is the seafoam colourway, and it's a really nice sort of simple coat. So if you're quite new to coat making, then it's a good one to try. And it closes with a bell, and you can do these more involved welt pockets, which I love. I really love the way that they look. Or you can do easier inseam ones, which is on the pink one here. And we show you lots of extra sort of tailoring techniques and tips in the video that comes with the kit as well. So we talk all about the shoulder pads, how to customise them. We show you like an alternative way to interface it, which is really good for boiled wool because it helps to just support the jacket a bit more and stop it stretching out in key areas. So we put like an interfacing kind of stay on the front and on the back as well. So it helps to support the jacket, but it still means it's got that lovely sort of bouncy kind of feel to the coat, which is what boiled wool's got. And then this is the berry sorbet colourway, which has got a really beautiful lining. The lining in this one's ex-designer, and it's like a lovely little flower, really cute, like pink with a little navy flower in it. And then this has got much easier pockets, so the pockets are just like side seam pockets there. So yeah, we do have some left of this one as well, which is also very cozy. But yeah, we do have like a general stock of boiled wools coming in very soon, in various different colours. So yeah, but there's just the last few of those coat kits available now. So yeah, love your coat, thank you, no probs. So I think I'm gonna love you and leave you everybody tonight. I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening and you have a really good week. And I will see you next week for more chat and fun. Okay, bye.